What's up? All right, this is Daymond. We're going to talk about how to get some booty gains in 4 steps. Okay, there's 4 things that you need to know. Number 1, when it comes to you being able to develop that booty, okay, in order to develop that booty, you have to have good hip mobility, okay? Now what this means is, for most of you, you have desk jobs. And those of you who don't have desk jobs still sit on your ass watching TV or playing on Facebook all day long. Now when you sit for extended periods of time, your hip flexors, which run right inside your hip bones, there's the muscles there that run right inside your hip bones, they're called your hip flexors, okay? They actually do this, they pull your leg up, right? Like that. They also attach directly to your spine from your thigh. So, from your thigh bone, from your femur, okay? So when they get tight, they tilt your pelvis. They also, when they are tight, what happens is they shut off all the neural activation to your ass. So in other words, when your hip flexors are tight, your ass don't fucking work. It's asleep, okay? It's asleep. So that means that all the squatting and all the lunging and all the shit that you're doing, guess what? You ain't training that ass. You ever seen them people with the girls who swear that they work booty all the time and swear that they work legs all the time, yet all they have is quads and they have no ass? This is why. Their hip flexors are too tight, okay? When your hip flexors are tight, shuts these off, and then what ends up happening is your quads and your hamstrings, they start to overcompensate for what the glutes are not doing. Okay, so that means on your lunges and all your squats, you're getting primarily quad and hamstring development when you're doing all these moves, not butt development, which is the whole point of you doing it to begin with, because everybody wants some booty gains, right? Okay, so step 1 is to loosen your hip flexors. So I'm gonna give you a couple little techniques real quick, and you can do this with many different tools. I'm gonna show you 2 that you can actually use anywhere, okay? One of them you can actually get this. This is a mobility ball. You can get this at roguefitness.com, okay? These, I don't know, like $40 or something like that, okay? You can get this, you can use these, or you can use what you find at any gym. You can use a dumbbell. Now you can use these are the hex-shaped ones, right? But the 24 Hour Fitnesses and the LA Fitnesses, they have the ones that have the thinner edges that are, you know, they're taller, but they have a real thin edge. Those are badass for hitting your hip flexors. Those will get deep inside the tissue. Those are the ones I actually recommend the most, but these will do the job too, okay? So here's how you fix your flexors, all right? Your flexors basically run right inside your hip bones, just like I was telling you. So all you're gonna do is find your hip bones, okay? If you can feel it. Some of you may be so fat, you don't feel it, so you may have to push really, really deep, okay? Till you get your ass leaner. And then you're gonna go right inside the hip bone is where the hip flexors run. They run right there. And then all you're gonna do is just, see if you can see me there. Let me fix this camera real quick. Let's fix this so you can see me. Okay, check this out. So then all you're gonna do is take this and you're gonna put this on your hip, inside your hip, just like this. Get on your elbows, get on your toes, and then all you're gonna do is you can rock back and forth like this, or you can rock your foot back and forth like this, or do both. Doesn't matter, but you need to spend some time on these hip flexors. You're gonna need to spend anywhere from 2 to 10 plus minutes a day. A day, what'd I say? A day to keep them loose. Because why? Because you sit on your ass all day long, they're gonna get tight every single day, all right? So that's step 1, is you need to shut these off. Because when they're tight, they're constantly activating, okay? And the way the human body works is if a muscle is activating, it inhibits the opposing muscle from being able to do the work, which for you means your ass. So we have to shut these down and then turn these on, all right? Then whenever you start doing your hip thrusts, your squats, your lunges, your things like that, your glutes are going to fire better, okay? So that's step 1, is shut these off so you can turn these on. Number 2, here's number 2, mind-muscle connection. So what does this mean? This means as you are working it, you have to mentally Use your brain and connect with your ass. Meaning, when you're doing squats or you're doing lunges or whatever it is that you're doing, you want to mentally be using your glutes to resist the weight as you're coming down and then squeezing and using the glutes as you come up. Okay? Mind-muscle connection on every fucking rep, on every set. Okay, all these little kickbacks and all these little, things that you're doing, they're fucking useless if you don't have good mind-muscle connection. So connect your brain to your mind. The more you connect to your glutes, the more you connect your mind to your booty, the more it's going to develop. Okay, so that's step 2. Step number 3, you need to be going through full range of motion. Most of you, when you're doing squats and lunges, you guys are doing squats that are you're doing little, I call these Snoop Dogg squats. Snoop Dogg, yes, like the rapper, Snoop Dogg. Why? Because they're high as fuck, okay? They're too damn high. Your ass is not getting any work when you're doing these fucking Snoop Dogg squats and lunges, okay? Get your asses down. Your glutes are, in most positions, recruited the most in the deeper positions, and for squats in particular, they tend to activate better in a wider stance. So whenever you're doing your squats, you want to make sure that you get your ass all the way down. Okay, so not Snoop Dogg style like this. You need to be down. Okay, full range of motion. When you're doing your lunges, things like that, you need to be going all the way down. You could even do lunges where your feet are elevated so you can actually get in a deeper position to activate those glutes more. That's just another version. But the point is that you need full range of motion. Okay, full range of motion, not Snoop Dogg fucking squats and lunges. Okay, full range of motion. So that's the third thing. Now, the next thing, which is more of a progressive thing when it comes to booty training, is you have to have progressive overloading. So what does this mean? This means that in order for your muscles to continue to grow and develop, you have to be constantly overloading them, either by adding more reps with the same weight or adding more sets with the same weight. So if you normally do 5 sets of 10 of, say, barbell squats or hip thrusts, right? You do 5 sets of 10, so the next week you would do instead, say, 6 sets of 10, or say, you could do 5 sets of 11 reps instead, right? Either way, you progressively overloaded the muscle. This is what forces muscles to keep progressively growing and keep progressively developing. Stuttering here. Okay, so that is a key element to also get some booty gains, baby. Get the booty gains, right? Booty gains. So those are the 4 simple rules. But the most important one, which is why I put it at number 1, is hip mobility. Okay, I see this all the time with clients, man. Their asses are 100% asleep. I'm talking knocked out with Xanax and fucking Tylenol PM and 16 shots of vodka asleep. They're out. Okay, they're not functioning at all whatsoever. So we got to get in there. We got to loosen up those. And I actually, on my clients, will use my elbows and my fists to actually break up the hip flexors because it's much faster than rolling. And we shut these bad boys off and then do some stuff to activate these and then get them right back in, and then their glutes start firing. So I guarantee you, your ass isn't firing. If you don't have ass, your ass isn't firing. That's why you don't have ass. So if you want to get some booty gains, you gotta get some hip mobility. Hip mobility, shut these off, get these turned on. And then, like I said, the other thing is the mind-muscle connection. You have to be connected with your mind. Most of you push, whenever you're doing any leg stuff, you guys primarily focus on your legs when you're doing it. You're not actually focusing on your glutes. So focus on your glutes, on your booty. Get the booty gains, okay? So there's 4 steps. You are welcome.